Hey everyone, we're going to be looking more in depth for this upcoming extreme severe weather outbreak for the central and Dixie Alley portion of the United States. Before we could get into the forecast, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single upload or live stream on the channel. I will be having a live coverage all day for Wednesday, so make sure you do stay tuned for that. And if you hit notifications, you will not miss that whole live coverage. Right now, we're looking at the day 2 convective outlook. This is the severe weather outlook for tomorrow, Tuesday. As you can see, we have a slight risk for severe storms across portions of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas there, even a little bit of Arkansas. This is mainly for wind and hail, but we do have a tornado risk. As you can see, we have a 2% risk for tornadoes in that whole green shaded area. It's a pretty widespread area, so we can definitely see a couple tornadoes tomorrow, mainly brief and fairly weak. As we look at the wind risk, we have a 15% chance for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and up. For the hail risk, we also have a 15% chance for 1-inch size hail and up in that yellow shaded area, and a 5% risk for the 1-inch size hail and up. Now, here is what we're going to be mainly talking about today. We have an enhanced risk issued just this morning for day 3, which is Wednesday. And as you can see, we have Alabama, part of the Florida Panhandle, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, Arkansas, and a little bit of Louisiana there, all in that enhanced risk for severe storms. We also do have a slight risk around that enhanced risk in the yellow shaded area. All in these risks except the marginal risk, you will see some very intense storms. Mainly the marginal risk is there because these storms will be weakening by then. Once they get to the marginal risk area, they will be moving about an eastern direction, and the cold front is going to be triggering these storms by around this type of area, and then there's going to be a warm front lifting north to bring that moisture up into the southeast here. That's also going to bring a lot of energy and shear, so that's what's really going to trigger those strong tornadoes. As we look at probabilistic, we already have a significant chance for all hazards in that hatched region. If you are in the hatched region, you really need to be keeping an eye on this severe weather outbreak, because this can definitely be very serious. We may see a lot of long track significant tornadoes in that area. We also do have a 30% chance for all hazards in that red shaded area, and a 15% chance for all those hazards in the yellow shaded area, and the brown shaded area is a 5% risk. That's kind of the marginal risk. We also have a 15% chance for severe storms on day 4, which is Thursday. Those storms will be mainly hitting in the morning, and they did put that 15% chance, which is pretty much a slight risk for severe storms, because all of those leftover storms from Wednesday are going to be hitting this 15% chance area, and I do expect them to issue enhanced risk mainly for tornadoes and hail. Now we are on to the models. We have finally got a short range model in the NAM 3-kilometer CONUS. As you can see right now, we have a line of storms and rain showers reaching from Louisiana to Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky. Illinois is also seeing some of those storms there. This is going to be moving eastward, and we do have a marginal risk for severe storms across Alabama and Mississippi today. As you can see, we do have a pretty strong line of storms moving eastward by 11 a.m. We're now getting to 12 p.m. now, and that line is still moving eastward here. And you definitely have a 2% risk for tornadoes, so you may see 1 or 2 isolated brief tornadoes today in this type of region here. This is going to keep moving eastward, and by the time you get to 4 p.m., those storms are going to start weakening, and you may even see some tornadic storms right in here. As you can see, we are seeing some supercells right in there. Even some more storm development behind that, maybe some supercells in there also. As we move into the evening hours by 9 p.m., the storms are now moving northeastward and weakening quite a bit. Still seeing some more cell development, but those are going to be mainly isolated because those storms have taken all the energy, really. So maybe mainly just some leftover rain showers and isolated thunderstorms. And by the time you are getting to Tuesday, as you can see, we are seeing some cellular development over here in central and western Alabama. This is going to be moving northeastward. As you can see, that weekends. By the time you get to around 10 a.m., you're seeing more cellular development. We have 2% risk for tomorrow, so you may see a couple tornadoes also, mainly brief and short-lived tornadoes right in this whole area here. You may see some strong storms in there. Not too severe, though. As you can see, we are seeing some pretty strong storms over here by 4 p.m. tomorrow. And we're now moving into around 6 p.m. tomorrow, and you are seeing possibly some supercells over here near Georgia, so you may see some isolated tornadoes there. And that moves eastward as you get to the evening hours. This is going to be around 8 p.m. You are seeing a line of storms through South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama there. We're now moving towards 9 p.m. now, and you are seeing some more stronger storms right south of Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go ahead and let's move over to Wednesday. So this is going to be around 12 a.m. Wednesday. As you can see, there's practically nothing out there. Possibly some cells over here near Texas and Georgia, but really nothing. You are still seeing some strong storms over here in North Carolina and South Carolina. But as you move forward, we're getting to 2 a.m. now. You're getting some stronger storms over here in Arkansas and Louisiana. You're also seeing some cell developments over here in Mississippi. Again, this is already 2 a.m. You're already seeing some morning convection, so that's also going to be a problem here. We're now moving into 3 a.m. now, and that morning convection is really becoming more widespread. Now moving into around 4 a.m., and that morning convection is becoming very widespread over northern Mississippi. This can definitely cause that to take some of the energy. This is very early morning hours, so this may not cause that much problems for storm development later in the day. But as you get to 6 a.m., that morning convection is really moving out of the area. You're now getting to 7 a.m., and you're starting to see some of these storms that were from Tuesday now starting to move into Arkansas and Louisiana. You're now moving into around 9 a.m. here. So still that morning convection is starting to move eastward here. This is more later morning convection now starting to move into the area. That really weakens by the time it reaches eastern Arkansas and more northwestern Louisiana. This is what kind of happened in the Easter outbreak, is we saw these line of storms very early in the morning, and then they kind of weakened once they get to around eastern Louisiana. And then we saw that main storm development right around the Mississippi region. So this is definitely pretty similar to the Easter outbreak. I wouldn't say this is definitely similar to the April 27th, 2011 outbreak, but it's definitely pretty similar to what happened in the Easter outbreak here. And as you can see, it weakens pretty much fully, and you see more cellular development, supercellular development by 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. You are seeing a lot of cellular development over here, and you get to 5 p.m. now. This is the farthest we can go is 6 p.m. and you're already seeing hook echoes showing up on composite reflectivity. Again, this is 2 days out, and we're already seeing hook echoes showing up. There's a hook echo right there, possible hook echo down here, another hook echo right here. Very well defined supercell right in there. This is already showing up on composite reflectivity, which is very worrying. We're already seeing 4 different supercells in there that are looking tornadic by 6 p.m. and this is 2 days out. Again, this is 2 days out, and this is 6 p.m. at Wednesday. Of course, this is definitely going to change, and this is not exactly what the radar is going to look like, but I'm just pointing to you that we're already seeing very well defined supercellular development in more central and northern Mississippi. Now we are going to look at the severe weather ingredients very quickly because we have a lot to talk about in today's video. Let's go ahead and move forward. As you can see, we have a pretty decent amount of CAPE by Monday 5 p.m. As you see, we're getting to around 25 joules per kilogram, so you definitely could see some storms with some hail today. That definitely could be possible today. And as you move forward to around Tuesday, this is around 6 a.m., you're only seeing around 600 to 7 joules per kilogram, 600 to 700 joules per kilogram around the region. And now you're reaching into around 12 p.m. and that cape is definitely increasing because of the warm front lifting north. And as you can see, that storm initiation should be around between lunchtime and 3 o'clock. As you can see, cape increasing around 3 o'clock, getting to around 2,000 joules per kilogram around Tuesday. And as you can see, we're now moving forward to Wednesday here, so we're getting to around 12 a.m. We're now moving forward to 6 a.m. and those storms are going to be moving. Those line of storms are going to be moving eastward, and we're not going to see much cape for those morning convections in northern Mississippi. So that's quite good that we're not seeing much cape in northern Mississippi to fuel those morning convection. And as you move forward, and this will be around 12 p.m., you're already seeing cape values of 2,200. They're getting to around 1 p.m. now, and you are already seeing up to 3,000 joules per kilogram. You're now into 2 p.m. now, and now you are seeing definitely 3,000 joules per kilogram in spots here, mainly for southern Mississippi and into Louisiana. The majority of this event will happen in Mississippi and Alabama, and then these storms should weaken by the time they get to Georgia, and we should see more development by the morning, and that's why we have that site risk in place for portions of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. We're now getting to 3 p.m., which is when expected storm initiation is starting. So by 4 p.m., we should see a full initiation happening by then. As you can see, we're seeing around 2,500 joules per kilogram, 2,800 in spots. So we definitely could see some big hail within these. And that cape really decreases by the time you get to the evening hours. This is going to be around 6 p.m. as you can see. And that's the farthest we can go. Now here is the cap. The more cap you have, the more possibility storms will not be able to develop. So let's go ahead and go to Wednesday. And as you can see, by the time we get to 3 p.m., there's absolutely no cap in the region. There's some cap down here in the panhandle of Florida, southern Georgia, but that's not going to be a problem at all. And you're getting to 5 p.m. So this is about the farthest we'll go. And absolutely no cap within this whole region here. And that's going to be a very big thing for storms to develop in this whole region right here. And we get to 6 p.m., which is the farthest we can go. Still 0 joules per kilogram in this whole spot. So this is not going to be a capped event at all here. And that morning convection is really not going to do anything for northern Mississippi. So if storms develop over here, that morning convection is not going to limit those storms. So this is going to be a very major event. Make sure you stay tuned for my live stream starting possibly in the morning. Right now the schedule is to go live around 12 p.m. As you can see, bulk shear. We are seeing definitely some major shear in here, 70 knots in there, and those are where the supercells are. We're seeing definitely some major shear happening in this region. Over here in northeastern Alabama, you're seeing 76 knots. And you're mainly seeing 50 to 60 knots, which is pretty major at 0 to 6 kilometers. Storm-related helicity, and you are seeing definitely some very nice helicity here around 200. Mainly 200s, 250 in there for that storm-related helicity. As you look at supercell composite, this is definitely going to be a pretty big role here. And as you can see, when we get to Wednesday, we have a very large area for those supercells to develop within that region. And we get to when these storms really start to develop. As you can see, we are seeing some more upwards of 21s in there. So that's going to be a very big risk for those supercells to develop. Finally, the significant tornado parameters, which is the risk for significant tornadoes. And as you can see, we are seeing some major significant tornado parameters in here. 5s in there. And that's going to be up here where those pinks and purples are. Let me scroll down a bit for you there. As you can see, right in here, that's where you get major and up. So this is definitely going to be a very major event unfolding for Wednesday. And as you can see, we get to 6 p.m. and there's even upwards of 5.5 up to even a 6. So those are definitely going to be some very strong, long-living tornadoes. And as you can see, this is definitely a pretty decent sounding here. Let me just zoom up a bit here. And as you can see, the cape is enough there. We do not have any cap here. This is the cap. So we have 0 cap at all. And this is the possible hazard type, which is a PDS tornado. PDS stands for particularly dangerous situation. We have a classic supercell right in this box showing up. And as you can see, this is going to be a very low base supercell. As you can see right in here, that's the cloud level. And that is going to be very, very low to the ground. And this is going to be the cap. The red line is the cap. The red line is the cape values. So that's the energy. And we are seeing definitely a very mass amount of cape right in this whole area. That's going to really trigger a strong tornado according to this sounding. And the holograph is also very decent as well. That's about all for today's video. I will have another in-depth look from the more model runs that will be coming out tomorrow. We'll definitely have possibly the HRRR coming out tomorrow as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that video. If you did enjoy this in-depth video, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and to our post notifications so you won't miss a single upload or live stream. Like I said, a lot of times I will have a live coverage on this extreme outbreak happening Wednesday, most likely at 12 p.m. and possibly even starting early in the morning. But anyways, stay safe.